Welcome to the All About TRH podcast, aka All About the Real Housewives, aka All About the Truth. On today's episode, we go over hot topics, including Erica Jane crediting menopause for her weight loss, and talk TamRat judge setting up her BFF Heather Dubrow in our RHOC recap. Hi, Chantal.
Hey, Roxanne.
How are you?
I am good.
We have a big night or big day tomorrow.
I know, I'm so excited.
We have our Siggy interview, and this is an interview that you guys have requested for so long. And for a part three, obviously, part one and two were so successful, and we know you guys are so excited about it. And we are asking all the questions that she wasn't able to talk about just because we didn't have enough time with part one and two. And it's going to be so interesting because they're questions that you guys asked from listening to part one and two. So you guys are definitely going to want to tune in. And it's going to be our first Zoom. You guys are going to be able to see us, which is wild.
Which aren't you dying about?
I am dying because I am so uncomfortable with that stuff. I just like being behind the scenes. And that's kind of why, because everyone always asks, why didn't you guys do a podcast sooner? And I didn't know how to work podcasts and if it was just like an audio thing. But I feel like I get like distracted because I'll like stare at myself and I'll be like, why am I making that facial expression? Or then I start realizing how much I move my hands and because I move my hands a lot. And so I just always am so uncomfortable about it.
I feel like we're going to be fine, but it is going to be awkward since it's like one of our first times doing it.
And anytime me and Chantel are actually staring at each other, like we laugh.
You
So I'm like,
laugh and you piss me off because then I start laughing and then you can't get out of it.
I know. Okay, yeah, but then yeah, I know. I swear when me and Chantel are recording something together, I promise it takes probably 75 takes for us to get to it.
I'm
So
going to upload one of them so people can see what I deal with.
no,
Because
please.
of you. And so now with, like, ads or anything, I'm just like, "You do one by yourself, and I will do one by myself because
Yeah,
I can't
it's
handle you."
terrible. Yeah, so I'm actually pretty nervous. We don't know when we're gonna release it. I know a lot of the times you guys say, "Release it right away, release it right away," but I feel like if we are to release it on, let's say, Friday or I don't know. I feel like that's not a good day because it's Friday. It's the start of the weekend. I don't know, Chantal. I feel like, and you even said you're like Fridays are typically not good days. I feel like Sunday night maybe or Mondays are great days, but I don't know if Fridays are. So I don't know if I'll release it Friday. And then we're actually interviewing two other housewives next week. Again, these are housewives that we reached out to. They didn't reach out to us. They're not desperate to be on because a lot of the times we have people who listen and say, why are these housewives so desperate or and I'm like, they're not desperate. We're literally reaching out to them saying, we want to hear about your experience as a real housewife. You're not on the show anymore. So next week we are interviewing two housewives. We're also gonna do a collab podcast with a really popular podcast. So we have a lot going on.
Yeah, it's super exciting stuff, though.
Yes. So, yeah, be, nice to us because freaking
Well,
out.
people were not nice to me this week because they were so mad about what I said about Roni.
Yeah, but it's so funny. Yeah, there were a lot of people and they called you biased and I think those people also typically didn't watch the original one.
You know what was weird though is or funny, my friend Alex texted me and he was obsessed with the original Roni. But so he texted me randomly and goes, "Your opinion is wrong on the new Roni." And I was cracking up because that meant he was like listening to us and listening
Oh,
to what I was saying. And so
hey, Alex.
yeah, hey Alex. So and he really likes this season so far. He's like, "We need to give him more of a chance." And I was like, "Yeah,
I
okay, I'll do
agree.
that." So
I agree.
yeah.
Obviously, they're not likable right now in the sense that they're complaining and they're acting a little bit entitled, but I'm willing to give it a chance. Their episode 3, I think it had over 400,000 live viewers so watching it live. I don't know if that's good.
Did we get the overall total or no?
No, see, that's we only got that. I feel like that's
Oh
kind of
wow.
good. I'm not sure though.
I don't
'Cause if it's
know.
just live, I don't know, but we oh, I'm sorry, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna just say I don't watch live, so maybe that is good, I don't know.
Yeah. So I want to cover a hot topic. We're going to talk about Orange County, but I want to cover a hot topic before we do, and it's about Erica Jane. Did you see this, Chantel?
Yes, Ozempic gate
Yes.
times
Yes.
95,000.
Yeah. So Erica Jane denies using Ozempic for dramatic weight loss, and she says it's from menopause. Did I say that right? Menopause?
Menopause.
Menopause. Okay.
Yeah, menopause, mhm.
Well, so she says it's from menopause. So she was on Watch What Happens Live and she is thin, dramatically thin. And her face, it gives me Ozempic face, which I don't even know what Ozempic face is, but people always, when someone just drastically lose weight, they call it Ozempic face. And I feel like it's like the cheekbones or something, just kind of like how Margaret Joseph's looks. But she was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy Cohen asked about her weight loss. And she credited menopause for the drastic weight loss. And she says, here's what. Let me just start off by saying I want to make sure that I don't trigger anybody because we have this conversation in Beverly Hills and we have a cast member with an eating disorder. She was talking about Crystal, but she says, yes, I did come down in weight and I did it hormonally. Andy questioned her, saying, not Ozempically. And Erica shut it down and said that she was going through menopause and that's how she lost all her weight. And then the guest that was there was Jackie Hoffman. I think she's in her 60s and she didn't seem to buy it. And she was like, who loses weight on menopause? And Erica quipped, me. I went to the doctor and I said, get it off me.
Yeah, usually, you gain weight on menopause because, like, your hormones are out of whack, you're not I don't know, I think people gain weight usually, they don't lose weight.
Right. So I actually researched it a bunch. So I went on a million different websites. And for example, one was Better Health. And they talk about menopause and they say that many women experience weight gain, particularly around the abdomen. And then, they talk more about the weight gain. I didn't find one thing that said you lose weight on menopause, not one thing. So that's why I'm like, why would she ever say that? There's so many other things you could possibly say. Why would you say that when and even I know this that I've heard this many times that people, they gain weight and from menopause. I've never ever heard they lose weight. So I'm like, why would she say something like this when, historically speaking or scientifically speaking or whatever the heck it is, people are saying, no, you actually gain weight from this.
Maybe when she went to the doctors, like, they started doing, like, testosterone shots and things that might help you lose more weight, and she wasn't, like, clarifying. Instead of just saying, "I'm just going through menopause, my period stopped," I'm letting my body just go through it. It's like she's doing things to, like,
Chantel,
reverse.
Chantel.
I'm just so over people, like, if people say they're not on it, can't we just believe them? I'm so over this Ozempic. Even tonight on Watch What Happens Live, Vicky was on. The first thing Andy asked her is about her weight loss and if she's on Ozempic. It's like, why can't people work hard anymore?
Because no one is,
But
Chantel.
Vicky did. Vicky said it took her a year and a half. Do we not believe Vicky either? I mean, that
But Chantel, why suddenly now did it take a year and a half? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of here. I mean, first off, I don't. Andy bothers me because it's like, why are you asking so much about like women's
I
weight?
know.
He's too much. But I don't know. I don't believe these housewives who've typically been thick and suddenly become thin, which more power to them if they did. And if I'm wrong, then it is what it is. But these are especially most of these housewives have been thick for the most part. So all of a sudden they're drastically thin during this like Ozempic trend.
And like maybe too thin. I think when they get like really skinny, you're just like,
So thin.
whoa. Oh,
Did you
so
see? Well, go on allabouttrh.com and you guys need to look at the picture of Erica's legs, like her
and you know
thighs.
what? They look older, so it's like,
Yeah,
do you guys want to look this way? You guys do everything in your in your power to look younger, literally like
I
faceless up
know.
the ass, and you guys are taking this drug to get you guys skinny, but it's making you guys look older.
Like,
I think that's what
Margaret looks so
yeah,
old.
I think that's what the
She's just
Ozempic
90.
face is.
Yeah.
It's like saggy and like skinny and hollow.
I don't think it's saggy at all. I think it, like, lifts their cheekbones, but it makes them look Skeletor, which, like, a skeleton would typically look old. I don't know. I mean, it's too even she just looks too thin. You just have to go look at her legs. This is someone who always had like us, Chantel. We have like bottoms, right? We have like like meat on our thighs, on our butt. That's how Erica looks. Her legs now are the size of my pinky.
Yeah, that's, like, really scary.
Yeah, I just had to address that. Any other hot topics, Chantel? I feel like that's really there's been nothing that's too breaking.
Yeah, no, I don't think I saw anything that was like, "Whoa."
Yeah. What did you think about OC today?
I'm liking OC, I like watching it.
I do too. I know we don't like Tamra, and I will say, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm liking watching, and I didn't like watching the last 2 seasons. Sometimes it's good to have a villain, and it's,
Yeah,
like,
of
interesting, you
course.
know? Yes, it makes it interesting to watch because 'cause you're like, "How dare that person be that way? Poor Heather," or whatever, you know? So, like, sometimes I
Which which is exactly what I was thinking this whole episode.
yeah. All I know is that Tamara, she does this thing where she acts complete victim and she makes the other person feel guilty for why she basically exposed them and acted that way. When she was talking to Jen, she was bawling, and Jen says that her friendship with Tamara means something and she wants to fight for it. And I'm like, girl, no, are you crazy right now?
It's almost a pattern with her that every time she's being a bad friend, something's going on with her in her life that she's like, I'm going through all these things." It's like, "Okay, how about just be a good friend and that's it."
Like, she,
Consistently.
exactly. She's a certified victim.
A lot of us are going through things in our lives and we don't sit there and be rude to our friends.
Yeah, yeah, people who care about us and wanna be there for us, and Jen is honestly, from what I can see, is a saint, so I'm like, "You are so shitty that you would go after someone," and that's what Tamara does, though. Is it even surprising? She goes after people like this all the time.
Yep, I agree. It's not
Heather just
surprising.
went on an interview and said that she thinks Gretchen should come back
That was really funny because that is shady and like she wants Gretchen to come back so she can go toe to toe with
after Tamara.
Tamra.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that's a brilliant idea. Brilliant, brilliant. I mean, Gretchen was on Ultimate Girls Trip this past season. They haven't aired it yet. Oh my gosh. So Chantel, you know how that Caroline and the Brandy Glanville thing happened?
Yes.
So, Peacock just announced that they're gonna actually release that, Real Houses of New York Ultimate Girls Trip. I think you and I were talking about it on the phone before they're gonna release the one with Brandy and Caroline. Keep in mind, Brandy and Caroline's Ultimate Girls Trip with Gretchen was filmed way before this New York one. So, this like investigation, first off, why is this investigation taking this long?
I know. And that is crazy that they're gonna release Roni Legacy
Yeah, there we
before
go.
yeah, wow.
And Brandy even said, I felt really bad for her when she was on Teresa's podcast. She was like, I've lost jobs because people think I sexually assaulted my co-star. So I've even lost jobs, and I'm just waiting for the truth to come out, for it to air on TV, so that I could get jobs back. And now they're prolonging it again
Wow. Is
because
it
at
just
the
because
time
it's going to
Brandy said it was going to come out in September.
is it in like court or just like Bravo's doing investigation?
No, like an HR
Oh,
investigation.
okay.
Yeah. But I will say Bravo, they do Heather wrong. I mean, she's proud of this fireside thing, and you see her talking about it a
Remember
hundred.
remember Fireside messaged us one time?
Did they? I don't remember that.
Yeah, and they said Mark Cuban. We looked into it, but it just didn't seem like we had all this content to provide it.
Oh my gosh, that
Yeah,
is
I'll
so
send it to
funny.
you. You're so funny.
I didn't put two and two together.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I mean, she was so excited about she's
Yeah,
just so
when you're
funny.
proud of something and you're working with a billionaire, I mean, I don't blame her. I feel like I'd be the same way where I'd like I mean, I don't think I feel like you and I have self-awareness to not bring something up multiple times, and especially to people who aren't well wishers for you. They don't really care for your success. They are shady and jealous half the time. So, but I mean, Bravo literally showed us 100 different clips of her talking about it.
I know, but then Tamara being shading goes, "Does
Oh my God.
IMDb show apps?"
Yeah, oh my, was that in her confessional, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
The worst. How was she? Oh my goodness. And then Jen and Gina go shopping, and I cannot watch Gina talk about anything. Just the way she talks. I mean, actually someone made fun of Chantel, you and I speaking like Valley girls, which is like crazy because we're from Michigan and I feel
We
like
do we have like it's called the Michigan A, so we do extend our A's a lot,
yeah,
so that's probably why.
yeah, right, yeah. And I'm like, this is just how we talk. I really can't we really, really can't control that. And so here I am talking about Gina's voice and her extending everything, but I don't know, I just don't have this connection with Gina, so it's just hard to watch her. But anyways, Gina apparently acts like she's done seeing Tamara attack Jen, and I hope that's the case, but I feel like someone should have stepped in for Jen in the beginning. What's, right is right and wrong is wrong. What Tamara's been doing to Jen has been wrong. Like everyone should have said something from the beginning.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. We all know with stressful days and weeks, it's nice to take away time for yourself and talk to someone. I really use a time with my therapist as me time and have seen so much progress. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/TRH today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TRH. I agree. I think they were a little scared though because they had this like clearly close relationship from before, and they don't want to step on Tamara's toes when she just came back either. So they're playing
So
it
did
safe.
Tamra. They should have all came after
I
her.
know, they're just playing it
Ugh,
safe.
I know. So, Tamra
Bring us
is
on.
yeah, right. I swear, let us say something. Tamara's such a snake. So she tries to set Heather up yet again. And here's how. Behind the scenes, Heather allegedly told Gina, Tamara, and Emily that Shannon is having problems with John. And if Heather was actually messy, she would do this on camera. But she did this behind the scenes. I also think there are times where housewives won't bring up things on camera out of respect. And if it does come out like later on in the episode, you'll hear a housewife say, "Yeah, we already knew there were problems." Anyways, TamRat is the one bringing Shannon's relationship drama on TV, not Heather. And Tamara's goal here is to get Heather to talk shit about Shannon and John, and Heather won't do it. So what does Tamara do? She talks about how Heather is saying things to them when the cameras aren't rolling. And I can't believe that Shannon wouldn't get upset at Tamara for all of this.
And I was just baffled by the whole time she's like, "I'm giving her more time." It's like she couldn't
She said,
wait
"I
to
want
have.
to test Heather to see how far she'd lie."
Yeah, it was my
Ooh.
mouth was on the floor watching
That's your
this
best friend.
scene.
Why are you setting up your best friend? I'm so confused.
And I really am so curious what Heather did tell Tamara because when she was explaining to Shannon and Vicky, she said your relationship is shit. And then even Shannon goes, Did she give you details? You know, because she wants to know, did she tell you a lot more?
He
And
wants
then
to set her up, and apparently Heather told her something behind closed doors. And if at that point, I would look at Tamara and I'd be like, "You mother trucker, I see what you're trying to do here."
she kind of gave a look. She was so
Yeah.
confused. Yeah, she kind of can pick up what Tamara was
And
doing.
she changed the subject to Jen's relationship or something. But what's crazy is last month Tamara went on an interview and said that Heather Dubrow was shitty to her on the season. And this is what I mean about certified victim. I think that's laughable. Like this interview was in early June that Tamara is saying this. From episode 1, Tamara has been coming in on Heather, who is apparently her best friend. And then Heather goes on an interview and she said that she and Tamara are talking and that she was hurt by Tamara. I'm pretty sure she said Tamara apologized because that's what Tamara does. She gets in front of it and tries to, like you say, act like something was happening in her personal life, or let's talk about this before we get to the reunion. I'm sorry, I'll always have your back. If you guys rewatch OC, you will see that Tamara is the most manipulative person ever. She's a gaslighter. She's just every bad quality you could think about. And she's a terrible, terrible friend.
I think the worst friend ever.
Yeah. I would have to say she's definitely, is there a worse friend on the franchise?
No, I really think she's such a bad friend. The way she comes at your relationships, says things to you,
Yeah.
backtracks it, says it again, sets you up. It's crazy.
And the crazy thing is Heather Heather can be a lot, but Heather has never been that way with Tamara, even though Tamara was the most deserving.
I know, which is so shocking. It's always like why, and I think that's why Emily and Gina were coming after Heather too. Like why?
Yeah. Yeah. So Emily and Shane are talking about parenting, and okay, Chantal, you're not at that stage yet, but I do think it's pretty relatable as a couple because even with Jacob and I, we're raised entirely different. So the way we parent is gonna obviously not be the same because he was raised a certain way. So this is what he knows. I was raised a certain way. So this is how what I know. So you have to adapt and figure it out as a team. So I like that Emily is opening up about real stuff, like her and Shane figuring that out together.
Yeah, I can't really talk about it because who the hell knows how I'm gonna be and, like, what me and my fiancé will do with
I'm
each
scared
other.
of
I
you.
know, because it's so I was just like, "Okay, I'm not gonna say shit,"
Until
because
the
who knows?
peace.
What I did
So
I like that, Heather and, Terry, like, their relationship. I also like how they were showing that because I do think you young moms and dads, like, don't realize at the end of it, it's really just gonna be you 2. You're just so wrapped
yeah.
up in your kids, and I loved them touching on that a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like my husband gets in these moods. Chantel knows this. Chantel, like 4 times a week, where he starts going into this is our prime. Like we have to, do this with our kids because one day they're gonna like. He's always going in those moods. So I feel like I am more aware of that just because of how he is and
That's
him
good.
constantly putting it in my head.
I think you guys I think everyone needs to because sometimes you really just put your full focus on kids and then you're left with each other and you're like, "Okay, what's next?"
I love my kids so much, though. Like we
Yeah,
love
you're gonna have
being
such a problem.
Well, no, because we just love being with our kids because we know they're gonna get older one day. We wanna spend time all together with them. Like, I love taking my kids on vacation. I know it's so exhausting, and I love, love, love it. So, oh my gosh, ew, Teresa. I love,
Yeah.
love, love it. So scary.
Wait,
But no,
also too, you know how they call them like they call the 3 Tres Amigas? Isn't that what the people call each other in Summer House too? Carl, Lindsay, and Danielle?
unclear.
Oh, I think it is. So it's like it's not that original.
I do wanna
Is what
make
I'm trying
sure
to say. I don't think they're that
Oh,
cool for it, you know? So
yeah,
it's like, get over yourselves.
right. I wanna make sure everyone knows that I don't give a shit about Gina's realtor journey. I feel terrible for saying that, but I just don't.
How about I just don't care about her whole storyline?
Did you forward it, Chantel?
Literally, forward, forward, forward.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't address anything that happened in the scene with Gina and her husband because I did forward it. So, I mean, her boyfriend, Matt, I just can't. I have zero interest in it. But can we talk about Eddie's confessional where he says that he cares about Jen when it comes to Ryan and says it's none of his business, but then he says it is? Why are you involved? Go open up a gym.
I 100%, but I did like how he handled the situation, like, wanting to put it all out there and then, move on from it.
No, I didn't. And I think so they all go on a triple date, which it's like, why are these three going on a triple date? Shannon, Tamra, and Jen. Okay,
It was so set up.
right. And everyone is rude to Ryan when he comes in, including Shannon. Like in the beginning, did you notice when she was standing in front of him? She's giving standoffish vibes, and I like her. And I was like, ew, you're being rude.
Yeah, and, like, he came in I love when people kill people with kindness. He came in saying, "Hi,
Yeah.
guys," like, hugging people.
Mhm.
I love that so much, so I thought he played it perfectly.
Yeah. What did you think, by the way, before we get into that, about Heather wanting to sell her house?
I think she should, and I was dying that, like, they brought in Josh Altman, who is from, Million Dollar Listing, and I love
Well,
that
they didn't
show.
bring him in. Josh Altman called them and
Called,
said,
yeah.
"Hey, I have I have someone who would wanna buy your house." I mean, I don't blame her. I feel like a house is a lot of work. I have a 3,000 square foot house, and that's a lot of work. Can you imagine a house like that?
No, the fact that she has to have a full staff, y that would
Crazy.
that's like it really is a business taking care of a home.
Yeah, and something always happens, like, my fridge just broke, and I'm waiting for a fridge to come, and then the fridge they brought broke again, and then my daughter we have those fans on top of the shower, and she put, like, a soaking gun water up in the light, and then that broke. I'm like, "Oh my gosh," it's like one thing after another, and this is just, like, in my house, like, I can't imagine a house like that.
I'm sure there's so many places and rooms they don't even, like, see, so, when their kids are going to college, it is they should sell and then get, like, a fresh new house, and I do think it's nice every 10 years maybe to change up your scenery. You
Yeah,
change as people if you can, obviously.
I
That's why I
just
think people
I
like
would
to
feel
rent.
alone. I don't think people really like to run, Chantel. I just think you think that's normal.
No, I think it's if you listen to a lot of business podcasts, a lot of people say it's smart to rent.
Okay,
Because you
whatever it
wouldn't have to
is
be
to
going
get
through this light thing that you have to fix now in your shower. Because you
Oh,
call your you
wow. Okay, I
you
mean,
you would
we'll figure it
call.
out. Jacob actually called, like, the guy who did our shower, and he walked him through it on FaceTime, and then Jacob went and returned everything he bought because he bought new lights for the I don't know what it's called, and I'm like, "This is a crap show. This has been a crap show," but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I would feel alone. Like, I would be sad. It would make me think more of my kids and how they all grew and remember when they were running around the house and there were things all over the house. I mean, her kids were kind of older though when she went in there, when she was at that house. No
Well,
one
to
should have that big of a house
14.
ever. Like I don't understand that.
Yeah, and because then there is a weird transition of your kids going to college, and then when they actually get married and have grandkids, and at that point, you're definitely not gonna have this house. So it's like, just get something that's, like, nice that everyone can hang out at.
Well, you know what's weird from where we're from? We've seen a lot of people, they end up buying their
Dream
best house
home.
ever when their kids get married and they have grandchildren. And I'm like, that's a huge, massive house that you just bought. And why buy it now instead of just, I mean, maybe obviously they might be doing better then, but why would you need that now?
I know, I think it's like it's just because like, it's a dream, 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 and then they get it and they're like, "Oh, why did I do this?"
Yeah, it's so stupid. Anyways, so back to Tamara and them. So now Tamara starts making fun of what Ryan is wearing. And I hate when the wives start picking on the men. And you know what's crazy is Tamara did this also with Jim Bellino and then got sued. And she would taunt him every, not like he was like some saint or anything. I'm not saying that at all, but she would taunt him every season. And, just like, why are you fighting with the men?
And why
And
are you
why is
saying
your husband saying back off?
and why are you saying he doesn't wanna look at me? Like, were you staring at him the whole time?
She's so gross. I truly believe she's jealous of Jen, jealous of how Jen looks, jealous of Jen's body, like everything. I just think because Tamara really cares about that appearance and working out. And Jen is so beautiful and her body. Oh my gosh. I'm jealous of Jen's body. I'm jealous of, like, she's so beautiful. And then she has
Yeah,
like this innocence to her. She's so nice. And just screw you, Tamara.
I
That's all.
agree.
And I even wrote again that I don't understand why the triple date is happening because it feels messy. It wouldn't feel messy if Heather was involved, Gina or Emily, but none of them are there. So it's giving setup. The conversation, okay, Shanta, hello?
What just happened?
No, you just paused.
No, I didn't.
So, wait, what did something happen?
I don't know, I didn't do anything.
Okay, I know you didn't talk. You didn't respond to me.
You went out.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, like, I did your voice went out, so I didn't you we didn't finish your sentence.
What was the last thing I said?
You said something about this whole triple date thing is still weird to me, and then, like, I didn't hear after anything after that.
Yeah, whatever. I was just saying that it's giving messy, and if Heather and Gina and Emily were involved, it would be different. But the conversation with Eddie and Ryan and the couples, I know you said you liked how Eddie handled it, but to me, it was super annoying. Eddie's asking if he cheated on his wife, and Ryan's like, yes, multiple times. And I'm like, oh my God, Ryan, okay, that's enough. And then obviously, we don't condone cheating, but Eddie is working overtime after losing the gym. And I think he's just like, okay, Tamara, we need to definitely secure a spot. So I'll get involved because we need the money. And
Yeah, that's
yeah, because it's like, I don't even picture Eddie like, Eddie did back in the day seem like the guy who's like, "I don't wanna get involved in this shit, it's all stupid." And all of a sudden, he's, like, excited about it. Then they start asking Ryan the weirdest questions. I don't know, it was just all so uncomfortable, and if I was Je and then after they kinda talk about it and say, "Let's not bring this up again," Tamara goes, "So when are you guys gonna get married?" She does things she does it because in her head she thinks they'll never get married, so she just wants to hear what they have to say so that she could go back in her confessional and be like, as if that's going to happen.
yeah, or she can say, "I told you so. I knew that was gonna happen." And it's so rude to even ask that for like,
She's
especially what they're going through right now because of
Yeah,
you.
right. Oh my god, she's the worst. She's
And
the
you're
worst.
the last person they're gonna wanna open up to and say anything about their
She
relationship.
knows
So
that.
even yeah, I know, but so it's like, if I was Ryan, I wouldn't even give any satisfaction and say, "Oh, we're gonna get married." I would just say, "We'll see, we'll see." Like, you don't need to know anything about our relationship.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see how the season continues, but I'm already excited for this reunion.
When are they filming? Do we know?
No, I don't know when they're filming the
Okay.
reunion. Yeah.
I am excited.
They just put the halfway trailer on, so it will be
Yeah.
like a month before.
It is crazy too, because when you're looking at some of the scenes, it's October for them, like Halloween time, and it really is wild how like late they show this.
I know, I hate that they do that. I mean, I'm
I
sure it's a lot of work behind the scenes, but it's like, come on.
I feel like 4 to 6 months is like legit. So if you started filming in January and you show us in July, great. But it's almost a whole year.
Yeah, it's too much. I mean, the producers are working hard. They're trying to make a show, so God knows, what they. Because here's the thing: is they could film something for 4 hours, and then they need to just find the 5 minutes that sound good, and then put it together because this clip sound good. I mean, Chanel, that even happens with us when we're just trying to do like snips of things.
I know.
So I can see that. But then you think about Real World, right? And Real World was recorded, like 24/7, and they MTV put that shit out like 3 months after they were done.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that doesn't make sense because that's like a lot more work. I don't know. Bravo, are you
I
paying your
think
producers enough?
or I think it's just like maybe they have so many shows that it's just the
Yeah,
way
they have
it's
time slots and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why with New Jersey, hey, New Jersey.
Enough.
That's why with New Jersey, they have a time slot set for New Jersey for season 14. So they didn't want to lose that by risking anything and then it extending another year. So that's why they brought everyone back because they didn't have enough time to do like this cast shakeup. But mark my words, season 15 will be a cast shakeup for sure because they have enough time to prepare for it. But yeah, anyways, we have to be up early tomorrow for this interview with Siggy. I'm gonna die, but yeah, please
You guys
support
pay
us.
attention to Roxanne like trying to look at me through the camera.
No,
I
I'm not
hope you
even
guys
gonna look. I'm not even gonna look at you. Oh my, I can just imagine us. I'm not even gonna look at you because you're gonna make me laugh, especially if like Siggy's going on a tangent and then and
and I'm just like,
I'm
"Oh
like, guys,
shit."
yeah, yeah. And I'm like, and I'm just looking at Chantal, I'm like, can you believe what she's saying?
I
So
show my reactions on my face, and in order for me not to do that, I do this like half smile, and I just like nod, and like that's what makes you
no,
laugh.
Chantel, what you do is you act like you're laughing and smiling the entire damn
I
time.
know.
Everything they say was the funniest thing ever. And me, I'm just like, like, I don't even know how I'm so awkward. That's why I hate it. Cause when we went on our friend's podcast, he asked us to do it. And I was like, I kept saying no. And Chantel's like, we have to do it. This is our friend. Get over it. And I'm like, Chantel was being a witch about it. And she's like, get the hell over it. So we finally did it and someone had commented on it. A lot of you guys watched it on their YouTube and someone commented and said, "Wow, I'm really shocked by how silent Roxanne is because Chantel was just like smiling and laughing and talking the entire time because
Yeah.
that's what she does." And I'm like, "Okay, girl," and I'm just like, "Yeah, yeah," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what
You're
a
just
night."
overthinker. You overthink about everyone's reaction to what you're doing or like saying
Yeah,
or something.
no, it's
That's why
not.
you'd be horrible on like really Real
I
Housewives.
would be terrible, 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 terrible. They would fire me after like episode 1. So yeah, I would be terrible. I'd be like, wait, let me see. What did I say? Oh my gosh. The worst thing ever. But yeah, that's all that we got for today. Hope you guys are watching and hope you guys are listening. Thank you for supporting us. And then that taken, do not write a review after this, okay? If you guys listen to our last episode, you know what I'm talking about. But Taken, do not write a review. Stop listening to us.
I'm gonna get like a tattoo with a lightning bolt.
Yeah, Taken lightning ball. I was like, what the heck is that? Sandoval or something? Like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, or it's Harry Potter.
Like, oh wow, no, I wasn't. I'm so thirsty.
Okay, go drink your water.
Yeah, we
Bye
have.
guys.
Oh my god, ew. This is how ugly she acts. Wow. I was gonna be like, how dare Roxanne say she's ugly? How dare she
Exactly.
ugly? Ew, you guys don't even know. Oh my gosh. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be sure to check out allabouttrh.com for everything Real Housewives and Bravo TV. And please make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at allabouttrh podcast.